prize, and we got one. Will Russ going to be calling this first ever 16-inch softball game out here in what used to be Bandit Stadium. Take it away, Will.
And we are live here at the Parkway Bank Park for this Rosemont Dome Final Four with Flashline and Hex. Beautiful outside. The first game out here on this stadium, I want to say, maybe ever. And we got a good one, the 1 seed Hex. And then the 4 seed Flash combined with Moneyline, called Flashline, who came back and beat the Fat Kids on Monday night. And Hex defeated Iron 4-3 in a very entertaining ball game, a low-scoring game. So it should be a good one here tonight. You should know a lot of players from both teams, as both these teams are major teams. And we'll see who will advance. 45s and Signature are playing inside the Dome area for this game this evening. So PJ Rains is going to start things off here for this Flashline team. Both teams energetic as we're just 1 week away from a couple days away from the start of this season. And PJ Rains, Brian Sloan pitching for this Hex team. So here comes PJ Rains.
Come on, PJ, let's go, kid. Start it, babe.
So Sloan pitching to Rains. And Rains goes hard to center, and the catch is made out in center field by Donnie. So Julian Gutierrez just showed up at game time, playing right field this evening, a member of the Flashback team. He will take deep. I believe it's 1-1 count, so yes, it is 1-1 count. No, 2-1 now. And Gutierrez goes hard, and that's a base hit. Kurt Ostrom gets that ball in quick. Former Smackout teammates. And Julian Gutierrez gets a base hit down the left field line. And now Mike Manzella, the catcher, comes up. Each team gets 4 home runs. Same rules apply, as the fences, I believe, are 210 all around. And a man goes hard, and that's in the gap. And Julian will get to third. Mike stays here at first. And Flashline's got first and third here with Brian Davis playing shortstop this evening. So first and third here for Brian Davis. And Flashline is in business.
Let's go, BD. Come on, man. Keep it going. There we go, bro.
So 3-1. Sloan falling behind with Ryan Russ on deck. And Chooch calls a strike. So full count. First and third here for Flashline in the top of the first inning. And Davis goes hard towards right center. And the catch is made. Sliding catch by Donnie. That will score the first run of the ball game. So Flashline takes a 1-0 lead with Ryan Russ, the left fielder of Flashback, coming up to the plate. Good ride there by Brian Davis, but Donnie in center field was able to track it down, falling to the ground with the lights on here in the beautiful Rosemont, Illinois. And Ryan Russ takes a ball, and Sloan will fake and lag it in there, and Russ will go high to left, and the ball is foul but in play, and the catch is made by Kurt Ostrom, and Flashline puts up 1 in the top of the first. And we'll just show you the scenic, right, beautiful stadium here, the Parkway Bank Park in Rosemont, Illinois, where the Bandits play. Fantastic out here, as both these teams agreed to play out here. And Flashline at first and third with Brian Davis, and he tried to homer one towards right center, and Donnie made a nice sliding catch, and Flashline was only able to get one run across. As you see, Maddie Dozen and Jeff Hernandez, manager of Moneyline and manager of Flashback, out here teaming up to get into this Rosemont League, get their players ready here for the summer, as we're 3 days away from Maddie Dozen's Guaranteed Rate Classic out in Oak Lawn, Illinois. We're out here in Rosemont where the Bandits play right off 294. In the Final Four of the Rosemont Dome, 45s and Signature are playing inside as Flashline and Hex are playing outside, and the championship is supposed to be outside. It's beautiful out here. And Robbie will pitch to Kurt Ostrom. And Kurt will go to left. Ryan Ross cannot make the play. Beat him down the line. And that's a leadoff double for Kurt Ostrom. And he's fired up. Both these teams in a lively mood this evening, as, like we just said, 3 days away from the start of the season. And here comes Nick, the short center. I believe he was one of the pickups from the Sauce team, which Hex picked up, I want to believe, 5 guys from the Sauce. So Nick will go hard off Robbie. Drehobel gets it, throws the first. Lawler picks it, but he beats it out. And now you have Al and Mark Holstein, the 3-4 hitters, with the fences only left field and right field 210 and center field's 230. And Al has a chance to put Hex on the board here in the bottom of the first. It is 1-0 Flashline. And Al will take off the plate. Robbie Grisano, the pitcher, will lay it just deep. So if Robbie does not want to put Al on here, so Grisano down 3-1's got to lay one in, and he walks him. So Rob Grisano, a 3-pitch walk. And here comes Mark Holstein, the extra hitter. And Hex has a chance to put a big number up here on the board, as Ostrom and Nick and now Al have all gotten on for the dangerous Mark Holstein. So we'll see. These two former Windy City Jinx teammates, I believe. And Robbie has thrown 3 straight in a row. If you're Robbie here, you got to find it here. And Holstein goes hard to right. Is it playable? It is playable, but Gutierrez cannot make the play. And Hex is running the bases. And Gutierrez was under it, going up against the fence. And Hex takes a 2-1 lead. So Hex up 2-1, and they're still in business here with Rob Scahill, the 5-hitter, playing third this evening. So 2-1 Hex in the bottom of the first, nobody out, second and third. There are about 15 people up in the stands watching this evening, so good crowd. And Scahill goes hard, and the catch is made. So a big out there by Flashline, as it now puts the pressure on Greco. Second and third, 1 out. So going for your hit there, and he just hits it right at Nick Drehobel, who is playing on the right side of second base. And now here comes Greco. If you're Greco here, you want to make sure you punch another runner across here. So Robbie will lay one in there, and it is, I believe that was a ball, so it was 3-1. And he will go hard towards right center, and it's over the head, and this is going to score 2 more runs for Hex, and Greco gets a 2 RBI double, and Hex is up to a 4-1 lead. So 4-1 Hex. So a good ball there, and Hex is now up 4-1. And here comes Mike. the right fielder will take a strike. So Robbie gets one with one out here. Flashline's got to try and get out of here with this. And Mikey will hit a hard line drive into the gap. And the ball gets through Ryan and the center fielder. And now there's going to be a play, but no, it's a 5-1 lead for Hex. And Hex has come out ready to play this evening. And it's 5-1. And here comes Richie Battistoni, the player manager of this Hex team. As Jibs Hernandez taking off the hoodie, could be getting loose to come into this game as Grisano has been getting wrecked. And he goes hard to left, and Ryan Ross makes a diving catch against the wall, and that scores another run across for Hex. So 6-1 Hex in the bottom of the first. A costly walk to Al. And then Holstein hit one to the warning track, and Julian Gutierrez was up against the fence, but could not track down the ball. And here comes Kimmer. And Robbie is way deep with that pitch. And Grisano lays one, and Kimmer cuts one, and Ryan Russ, and it's tracking foul. So you got PJ Raines at second over here with Shane Lawler, Nick Jerhobo up the middle, Brian Davis over at shortstop, and then you have Lenny over there at third. Ryan and Gutierrez on the corners for this Flashline team. Manziel is catching. And Kimmer will pop one up into center, and the catch is made. And as we end the end of the first inning, Hex has a 6-1 lead, as you can hear this Flashline team saying they're going to have to hit this evening. As we head to the top of the second, I'm still learning how to work Gio's scoreboard here. It is the second inning. If I see him, I'm going to have him come over here. And Gio.
Go on, Rob.
So figured out the innings there. So Grisano's leading off as it's 6-1 Hex in the top of the second. And beautiful Rosemont, Illinois. Sloan and Grisano going at it here. 2-2. And he will cut one to the shortstop, Nick, and he throws across the diamond for the first out of the top of the second. Here comes Lenny, the third baseman. Nick Jerhobo, Mike Trump. Come on, don't be kidding. And it's a ground ball off Sloan, and Kimmer won't have a play. And that's what Flashline needs. They got to get some runners on base here. Is Nick Jerhobo is going to come up to the plate with one out here in the top of the second. We're only a couple days from the start of the season. Both teams energetic. A reminder, we have Signature 45s playing in the Dome. Winners will face each other in the championship. And Jerhobo will flip one, and the catch is made by Greco right here. Runs into Gio. I don't know what Gio's doing over here. Is he back in the Flash 2011-12 days? Almost took a tumble, but... So 2 outs now. With Ryan Jerhobo. 6-1 Hex. Flashline. If he could hit one out, they could use it. Reminder, both teams get 4 home runs. It's 210 to left and right and 230 to center. I believe the dome is 225 all around. And Nick goes hard, and Kurt cannot make the catch. And this could be a run for Flashline. So Kurt tried to make the catch, and a run crosses for Flashline. So Ryan Jahobo pounds one. Kurt had a tough play. Didn't know if he wanted to play it, if he wanted to bounce it off or try to make the play. I believe that bounced, and then he couldn't track it. And Jahobo was able to get the second in a run cross. So here comes Frank Jacal. So Frankie will cut one. Foul ball on the left field line. So Frank was a part of the Players Inc. team last year. Made the transition to Moneyline. And Frank, and then you have Shane Lawler on deck, batting 11th this evening. So if you can get a couple 2-out big hits here to lead to your top and see if you can get the Julian and Mans with runners on base to try and hit one out of here. Sloan will fake and deliver, and Jaquel takes it deep. So 2-2.
Let's go, babe.
Hex, the leading team in the Dome this season. And he will go hard, and Kimmer cannot make the play. Another run will cross, so Flashline gets it down to 6-3 as that ball was hit right at Kimmer. And Kimmer, I don't know if the ball was moving, but a big at-bat here for Shane Lawler as you have P.J. Raines on deck. 2-out hitting here by this Flashline team. Down 6-1, now 6-3. Shane Lawler, we'll see where he goes here. And Lawler will go up the middle. Nice play by Nick. He will throw across, and Chooch will call him out. So a nice play there by Nick, the short center of this Hex team. A good ball. He was able to knock it down, throw across the diamond, and get him in time. So 6-3, heading to the bottom of the second. That was a good ball by Lawler, but an outstanding defensive play by Nick of the Hex team. As there's about 20, 25 people out this evening, this beautiful evening out here in Rosemont, Illinois, at the Parkway Bank Park in Rosemont, where the Bandits play softball here. It's just a great, outstanding stadium. With, I believe, Gio will be doing the championship. We do not know if it will be out here or indoors. The winner of the 45 signature team, we will see if they want to make the trip out here. And Brian Sloan will lead things off here for Hex. And the manager of the Moneyline team, as both teams have all their coaching staff out here, this Flash Moneyline merger called Flashline. You have Lane Neiman, Matty Dozen, Pat Caputo from the Moneyline team, and it's a base hit. So Matty ends up moving his short center, and Sloan goes to the opposite hole, and it's a base hit. Rory, the second baseman. And then you have Jibbs and Bob Russ and JP, the managers of the Flashback team out here. So both teams, and I believe Red Davis is here for the Moneyline team as well. So both teams excited for the start of the season. And Rory's looking this way, and he hits a ground ball to Raines, and Raines will go to first in time. So PJ's only play was the first base. Moji, if you're watching, he can play the infield. And here is Donnie, who made a nice catch going towards his back in the first inning. So Donnie batting 12th. Hex is batting 12th this evening. And Donnie hits a ground ball to Jahobo, and he throws across the diamond in time. So Nick was kind of didn't move when kind of behind the ball, and Jahobo's saying something to Kimmer right now, like, hey, you could have moved there. So it's 6-3 here. So Kurt Ostrom, the leadoff hitter, played with Smack most of his career. Became one of the top left fielders, made a transition to the Hex team. See if he can get another big hit here, and he pops one up. Ryan Russ comes in, calls it, and that's a goose egg for the Flashline team with their top of the lineup coming up. They got some momentum here. As it's 6-3 Hex. didn't realize. No, for the Hex team. He was saying it was 6-2, but it is 6-3. So my mistake. Ian, who's playing center field for Flashline, I believe he just showed up a little late. Maddie added him to the lineup, so he's playing center and batting 12th. We'll lead things off with PJ Rains and Julian. So if you're Flashline, you fell behind 6-1 with some key errors in the bottom of the first, some mistakes, but you were able to score 2 and get a goose egg. 12-1-2. You got a chance to get back into the game and maybe even take the lead if you can get some home run hitters up with some runners on base. So Ian will pop one up, and Rory, the second baseman, will make the play. It's 1-1 count out here, so a lot of pressure to the hitters. If you're a cut push guy, if you go for that and you miss the line, you gotta go up the middle and jam yourself if you don't like splitting the gaps. And here comes PJ Rains leading off this evening, playing second. And he will hammer one to right center, and this is extra bases for Rains. Rains could be thinking 3, and he will stay at second with Gutierrez. So PJ making the transition to flashback this year. Started with the shooters, then went to signature, then the 45s, now with flashback. And Julian Gutierrez, the right fielder, could be looking homer here, and he hits one. Oh, nice play by Sloan. Kick save and a pick. Julian can't believe he made that play. So Sloan just sticking his foot out. The ball stuck. And Julian saying that the hole was wide open. And now Richie Battistoni's going to talk, because you have an open base here if you want to pitch to Manzella. But Brian Davis and Ryan Russ is in the hole. So we'll see what they decide to do here if they try and pitch around him. But big at bat here from Mike Manzella, trailing by 3 in the top of the third inning. And he will go high, and he sneaks a strike in there. I don't even think he was trying to get it, but Chooch, and Manzella slams home plate, was not happy with that strike call, as that pitch was about 10-11 feet and landed deep in the strike zone. So we'll see if Sloan even gives him one. 2-2 count. And Manzella hammers one for a base hit. Could be thinking double. Manzella's ready for the start of the season, and he wheels in an RBI double. So Mike Manzella, passionate softball player, took that personally when Chooch called that a strike. And with a swing of the bat here by Brian Davis, we could be tied, as you can believe that Brian Davis is thinking homer. 210 right and left and 230 to center. And Davis takes inside for a ball.
Get there, Rock. Get some, Mike. Nobody near you. You're good. You're good. Nobody near you.
So Sloan delivers to Davis, and it's in there for a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes here. Sloan hesitates and delivers, and Davis will hit one to third through Scahill's hands. Manzella will go. Kurt will throw it to second, and it's a 6-5 ball game. So a couple big hits there by veterans Manzella and Brian Davis, who have won a lot in their careers. And Ryan Russ will step up to the plate here with Grisano on deck with 2 outs. So a couple big 2-out hits by Flashline, and Ryan Russ with Gutierrez pinch running could try and split one to tie in this game up. And Russ will flip one, foul down the right field line. So Ryan Russ tries to flip the line, and he misses it. And now with 2 strikes, you got to be thinking he's going to be trying to go to right center or left center. He's my brother. I know him pretty well. If I know he's going to try and beat Kurt in left, but we will see. So Sloan's ahead 1-2 here with 2 outs. Flashline with trailing 6-1, got it to 6-5 here. And Sloan will deliver short to Russ, so 2-2. Sloan fakes again and delivers, and Russ will hit a ground ball, and Nick will throw across, and that's an out for the 3rd out of the inning. Flashline got back into the game, down 6-5, And now Hex has their 2, 3, 4 coming up, and Nick, Al, and Mark Holstein. So we'll just show you the great, beautiful Rosemont, Illinois. Beautiful outside, ready for the start of the season. As Matty Dozen's running his guaranteed rate classic. I believe, I don't know how many teams, there hasn't been a bracket out. I believe there's 12 out in Oak Lawn on Saturday. Gio will be live out on Saturday, hoping there's good weather. And then the Forest Park League starts on Monday. And then the Melrose Major League starts on Tuesday. So getting right back into the swing of things with the TOC. The Tournament of Champions out in Westchester at Mayfair Park is less than a month away. So getting right into the things here this softball season as Grisano is pitching to Nick, the short center, who's had a great game so far. He grounds one over to Lenny to third to Lawler. And that's a pitching catch for the first out. And here comes Al. Al's always dangerous for a home run hitter. Can pound both, mostly left center. You could see last year as a lot of the teams were playing Al, giving him the right field line. We'll see if Al developed a right field line ball this year. And Al goes hard, and that is, I believe, way gone. And Russ can't make its place. That's a solo homer for Al. So Al, I don't know why he's shaking his head. That gives Hex a 7-5 lead. As you're a guaranteed you get 4 home runs. So now Hex is down to 3. Flashline has not hit one.
I'll go around, but you gotta wait.
So now we gotta wait and see what the ball situation is here. As he hit one that is 210 out in left field. So Al was able to hit one. Yeah, so each team gets 4, Frank. And Hex just used their first. Flashline has not used one yet. It's I've said it a couple times, but to left and right it's 210. Into dead center it's 230. So I don't. If anyone knows what the inside dome is, I believe it was 225 if I'm not mistaken. But 45s and Signature are playing right now in the Final Four. And the Hall of Famer Mark Holstein, the longtime 45, batting 4th this evening for Hex. And Grisano delivers to Holstein. And it's a strike, so 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yeah, I think all the games I've watched, I don't know how many times the teams use 4 home runs this year. Not much. And Holstein hits a ground ball right to his former Windy City teammate, Rob Grisano. Speaking of Windy City, led the legendary Pat Caputo's over there. The team was a great team in the 2010s.
Hey, play him deep, no doubles there.
So Robbie was with Hex last year, I forgot. So Robbie going against his former team this evening. So now Rob Scahill, the third baseman, is up. And Scahill goes hard towards left center. Ian will get the ball in, but it's a double for Scahill. So Ian playing center. I believe he made the transition from Meatball City to Moneyline this year. Still getting used to the free agent acquisitions for all these teams. And Greco will come up, who got a nice hit in his first at-bat.
Keep it in, boys. Save a run here.
And Shane Lawler saying anyone who can knock the ball down in the infield will save a run. This will be tough for Scahill to score if the ball's in the infield. And Greco will take deep with Mikey, the right fielder, on deck. So Robbie down 3-1. We'll see if he gives in here. He hesitates and delivers, and it looks like and Chooch says deep for a ball. So first and second for Mikey O. As both teams are into this ball game, the excitement for the season. It is 7-5 Carly, 7-5 Hex here in the bottom of the third. And Grisano misses again, so 3 straight balls for Grisano with Battistoni on deck. Grisano lays one, in there for a strike. So now 2-2. So Robbie needed that, and he gets it. So 2-2. Big at bat here for both teams. And he hits a line drive. Ryan Davis makes the catch. So Flashline gets out of it with only giving up 1. And now we head to the top of the 4th.
Come on. Come on.
7-5 Hex. Again, for all you just tuning in, we're in Rosemont where the Bandits play at Parkway Bank Park, right off 294, right by Rivers Casino, right next to the Dome. And 45s and Signature are playing indoors. Gio will be live for the championship as it's the Final Four. William Russ live here on SSA Broadcast, making my 2025 debut as I joined the SSA last year at the Forest Park No Glove Nationals and finished the season with them, as Rob Grisano will lead things off here. (7-5) Hex in the top of the 4th. Grisano will take a ball. If you're just Hex has 3 remaining homers, and Flashlight has not used any of their 4. And Grisano hits one off Sloan through the middle for a base hit. So Robbie goes off Sloan. And now Lenny will be up the third baseman. Lenny, Nick Jerhobel, and then Ryan Jerhobel. So I believe 3 money line players coming up here. And Ryan Russ will pinch run. And Sloan misses short for a ball. And Lenny will hammer one towards right center, and it's through the hands of Donnie. Russ will get to third. There's going to be a play at second. It's a sliding double for Lenny, and Flashline is in business here. Second and third, Pat Caputo talking to Nick Jerhobel saying, you got to get a guy in and a guy over. With nobody out here, Donnie could not. He made a nice play in the first inning. That ball was tailing towards right center, and he was unable to make the sliding catch. And now Nick Jerhobel will hit a ground ball to Sloan, and that's a ground ball and an out. So now we will see if his brother Ryan Jerhobel could pick him up. As I believe he swung at an inside pitch and tried to force the ball to the right side, and he hit it right back to Sloan. So if he wanted that at bat back, but his brother is right here and he could pick him up. We will see if his brother Ryan Jerhobel could pick him up. And he hits a line drive and it's caught. So a big at bat here for Frank Jekyll as Hex can wiggle themselves out of a jam here. So second and third, nobody out, to second and third, 2 outs. You're right, Paul. And we'll see if Frankie come up with the big hit here to tie this ball game up. And he grounds one to third. Scahill will throw across the Greco in time. So second and third, nobody out, to 0 runs. And Hex is fired up. And Flashline, that one hurts if you're Flashline. For all the Flashline fans out there, that one hurts. If you're a Hex fan, you're fired up right now, as both teams have like 10 fans out here this evening. And now Richie Battistoni, the leader of this Hex team, will lead things off with Kimmer on deck and Sloan in the hole. Kurt, one of the loud and energetic players of softball, is firing his team up. But it's something you see a lot more in softball, teams not being able to take advantage of the second and third and putting runs across. It happens a lot more than you think. And Battistoni goes hard to left center. Ryan Ross tracks it down and makes the basket catch. Yeah, the veteran coaching staff of both teams, you could tell, was very mad as I brought it up. You have Pat Caputo, Matty Dozen, Red, and Lane Neiman out here for the Moneyline team. Then you have Jibbs Bob Russ and JP for the Flash team. So you could tell all 7 of them were disappointed in the ending of that last inning. So Kimmer will ground ball over to PJ Raines, and he will make the play. PJ going to be playing a lot of different positions this year, as he's going to be in the lineup probably mostly every game he hits, and he could play anywhere on the field. So a big acquisition for the Flash team. And now Sloan will be here with 2 outs and nobody on. And Sloan will hit a line drive, and Raines makes a sliding catch. And we head to the top of the 5th, 7-5 Hex. And now we'll see how Flash line, they got another goose egg. But after last inning's catastrophe and having second and third nobody out to not scoring, we'll see how they bounce back with Shane Lawler, Ian, and then PJ. And it looks like Lane Neiman Jr. has a bat. Looks like he's going to pinch hit here for Ian, and Shane Lawler will lead things off. Shane hit a great ball up the middle with runners on, I believe, in the second inning, and Nick, the short center of Hex, made a diving play and threw across the diamond to get him in time. So both teams in the top of the 5th have their 11-12 hitters coming up. So see what Shane Lawler can do here. Hit a good ball last time. Let's see if he can get on. And Shane goes hard towards right center, and the ball is tracked down and made by the right fielder, Mikey O. So now Lane will pinch hit with PJ on deck and Julian in the hole. So we'll see if Lane could get on for the top here in the top of the 5th. Sloan will deliver to Lane, and Lane hammers one. Fair ball down the left field line. Kurt's got a good arm. We'll see if Lane tests it. No, it'll stay right here. So Lane was able to turn on one. Scahill was off the line, and he drilled a base hit down the left field line. And now the top of the lineup in PJ Raines, Julian Gutierrez, and Mike Manzella. So Flash line has got the right hitters up in this situation. See if they could go running here. And PJ hammers one over to Rob and then to first. And the ball is thrown here. So nice play there by the first baseman Greco. Throws to Nick. And then Nick tries to go to Sloan over at first, but PJ beats it out. And now Julian Gutierrez, who can get into one, could use a home run here. If he can, it's 210 to right. Looked like PJ took an inside pitch. So Sloan gets ahead with a strike, tries a quick pitch but hesitates, and now it goes high. And Gutierrez goes high to right. Will it get out? Will it get out? It will! A 2-run home run for Julian Gutierrez, and it's a brand new ball game, 7-7 in the top of the 5th. So we did say how Julian Gutierrez could get into one. In a 2-2 deep high pitch, he turned on one, and it's a brand new ball game, 7-7. As he's firing up his coach Bob Russ over here. So a Flash line would have moved the runners in the last inning. They would have the lead, as Gio over here is smiling. Gio, the great manager of Mudville back in the day, and flashback. And here's Mike Manzella, who can also go yard here and give Flashline the lead. And he will go hard to right. Will it get out? It's off the fence. We'll see if Mans can get the second. So Mike tried to homer, but hits it off the fence. Mikey O, the right fielder, couldn't make the play. It was a hard hit ball. And now another home run hitter in Brian Davis, who could give Flashline their first lead since it was 1-0.
Come on, Brian. Let's go, BD. Get some, Mike. Get some.
So Sloan fakes and delivers to Davis. And Davis goes hard to right. Will it get out? Will it get out? It will! Brian Davis with the go-ahead 2-run homer. And Flashline, 2-out hitting, has a 9-7 lead. Flashline, I believe, 7 of their 9 runs have all been on 2-out hits. You can tell they're fired up. And now Ryan Russ will come up. Flashline has used 2 of their 4 home runs, and Hex has used 1 of their 4. If you're a Hex fan, you still have your top coming up maybe next inning. And Russ will try to flip one, and it's fouled on the right field line. So the second time he's tried that this evening, he's missed it. And now with 2 strikes, he's got to aim towards those gaps. So Shane Lawler representing the Geo live. I don't have it in me. I don't want to take it away from Geo, so he'll be saving it for the championship game though. So a high arcing pitch is illegal. So I didn't hear Chooch say it. And now Russ will go hard towards center, and Donnie will make the catch. So at the end of the top half of the 5th inning, Flashline is leading 9-7 with big homers from Gutierrez and Brian Davis. Flashline was down 6-1 in this ball game. And yes, Matty Dozen just said it. Lane Neiman coming off the bench and pitch hitting for Ian with the 1-out single down the left field line sparked the inning for this Flashline team. Signature and 45s playing inside the dome. Those 2 heavyweights going at it. We were going to show you that game, but then we were like, it's beautiful outside out here in Rosemont. How can we not do a game out here? And now Rory will lead things off, the 11-hitter and second baseman for this Hex team who was on sauce last year. And Grisano will lay one right in there for a strike. So Robbie way ahead here, 1-2. To just tuning in, it is 1-1 count out here. And Grisano will leave it way short. As Robbie's got to be a little more closer than that, make him think about it. And he hits a ground ball through Grisano. Jahobo, nice play to Lawler to first. So Robbie was able to knock it down, went between his legs. Nick sliding over, able to cover the hole for Grisano and throw across. Jibbs and Eric Mandarino are here, so if Robbie did struggle in the first inning, but now he's able to slow things down here in the bottom of the 5th. Here comes, I believe this is a pinch hitter here. And it's a ground ball to Jahobo again. He'll throw to Lawler, low throw, and Lawler was able to go down and make the catch. So Shane Lawler, one of the top first basemen for so long here in the 16-inch world, was able to squat down and make the catch.
That's a nice pick. You look like a young me. You look like Bobby. You look like Bobby in the 70s.
Joey Carbs.
You're right.
Joey Carbs.
Junior.
Joe's locked into the game right now, CJ. I'm sure it does.
What was you in 82 or what?
Gio's going to get a little mad if not keeping things PG-13 on the live stream, CJ.
Make a play, Lenny.
And now Kurt, the leadoff hitter. It is the bottom of the 5th, Carly. The scoreboard, I have been on top of it, on the top of the screen, so 9-7.
There you go, Robbie.
And Robbie with a costly walk with 2 outs and nobody on. He walks Kurt, and now Nick, the short center, can tie things up here. I haven't followed much of this Hex team. I'm not sure if he could take one out, but I'm assuming if he's batting second, he possibly can. And Robbie lays one in there for a strike. So Robbie fakes way ahead here, 1-2. And Nick hits a ground ball to Davis. Davis will throw across to Lawler, and that's a big 0 for the Flashline team. So as we head to the top of the 6th, Flashline is leading 9-7. Both these teams won some contested games on Monday night in the first round as Hex beat Iron 4-3 in a low-scoring battle. And then Flashline came back and walked off Fat Kids. What's going on, Joel? But we're heading 9-7 flash line at the top of the 6th. If Maddie Dozen's in a good mood, we will try and get a quick post-game interview, win or lose, about his tournament this weekend. I'm not sure, Joel. If you ask a lot of the players tonight, it's beautiful weather out here. I don't know. I heard the 45s and Signature don't want to play the championship out here, either team. We'll see how that pans out. Gio was saying that they might have to go inside to do the game, even though I think they were complaining about the weather. So we'll see if they do the championship out here or not. Both these teams want to stay out here, but only one team can win. And it's 2-2 to Grisano. Grisano pops one up in no man's land. Nick, the short center, tracks it down and makes the catch. So here comes Lenny. If your flash line here, you want to push one across if you can, or at least get closer to your top if Hex ends up putting up a number next inning. Lenny gets a ground ball. Kimmer bobbles it, and he beats it out. So Kimmer was waiting for that ball, playing extremely deep. The ball's still in play here. But Kimmer was waiting back, was going to fire it across, and he bobbled it. And now Nick Jehobel, who really wants probably an at-bat here after last time, grounding out second and third, nobody out. And Sloan lays one in there for a strike, so not a 1-2 here. And he lays one deep for a ball, so 2-2. The final four out here in Rosemont of the Dome season. And Jehobel hits a ground ball, and it's through the middle. Lenny will test the arm. He's in no man's land. He's safe, and Jehobel will get the second. So good base running there by Lenny. He stopped. Donnie hesitated to see if he was going to go back to second. Then he just kept running to third. The ball went to third, and then Jehobel was able to get the second. And now Ryan Jehobel wants a bat too, as he lined out the third last time, second and third. So he can redeem himself here, as he was up in the same exact spot 2 innings ago. He takes deep for a ball. So second and third one out here for Flashline in the top of the 6th. And he hits a ground ball, and there's a play at home, and he's safe, and everybody's safe. So Battistoni pointing, saying, why didn't you go to first to get the out? Nick, the short center, thought he had a play at home. And another run crosses for Flashline. So Gio analyzes the game a lot more than me. I would have went to first to get the out, but trailing, I could see as a player you thought you had a chance at Lenny going home. But now it's 10-7, first and third with Frankie up. Frankie needs to put this ball to the outfield, and he does that, and this should get a run. Kurt's got a good arm, and Kurt will throw it into second, and another run will cross the board. So Flashline up 11-7. So a couple costly errors by Hex. That would have got him out of the inning if he went to first, but another run went across. And now Shane Lawler, the 11 hitter. And even if you're a Flashline fan, you're up 4. You got Ian, the 12 hitter, on deck. But you at least get your top to swing again in the 7th. So you'll see Raines, Julian, and Mans in the 7th. So you could still got your top hitters, and you're leading by 4. So they turn the lineup around, and Hex, I believe, in their 3, 4, 5 hitters coming in next inning. And Lawler goes hard towards right center. That's down. He's wheeling to third, and they will send him. There's going to be a play at the plate, and a good send by Lane Neiman. Shane gets the second, and he's safe. So all around, good base running. Good base running by Shane Lawler, hobbling into second. I couldn't tell. I was more focused at home. Battistoni fired it to Nick. Nick's convinced, the short center of Hex, that he had him at second. But Chooch calls him safe. That's all that matters. And now they will hit Lane Neiman again, which will take Ian out of the game. So we'll see who will head to center. I would have to believe that PJ Raines will head to the outfield and Lane will head to the infield, as Ian is now out of the game. And a pickoff over to second. But Flashline was down 6-1 in this game, now leading 12-7. And Lane hammers one to two. Kimmer's arms, and another run will cross. So Lane, hard hit ball right at Kimmer. And now Flashline is leading 13-7 with the top of the lineup and PJ Raines, and Joey Carbs will enter the game. For all the Joey Carbs fans out there, he's entering the game. You got a feel for Sloan there as a couple balls didn't bounce his way. I'm surprised they took him out. I mean, they were teeing off on him, but still, he should have been out of this inning a long time ago. A pitcher myself, that's frustrating. But I'm more used to pitching in the C League at Genera Park in Berwyn than pitching in the Rosemont Final Four. So going up against a lot of big-time players. And now PJ Raines will go in. So Raines will hammer one to left in front of Kurt. So good ball by PJ. And now Julian Gutierrez, who tied the game up with the home run last inning. Bobby Ronald showing some love to Carbs. It's good to see him work. And Carbs, there's a couple mounds out there, so Carbs was pitching from the third one, I believe, but Lane caught it and told him to get back to the right mound. And a nice hesitation by Carbs, and he lays it in, and he just misses deep. And now Carbs goes to Gutierrez, and Gutierrez goes hard towards right center, and that ball is down. Raines should score, and that's a 2 RBI double for Gutierrez. I believe his 4th RBI of the game, and Flashline is teeing it up here at the Parkway Bank Park here in Rosemont, Illinois. And now Mike Manzella up here for Flashline. Hex was the 1 seed, so Hex playing well in the dome. And Manzella goes hard to Nick. He scoops, throws across in time. So a nice another inning for Flashline as they've gotten most of their runs in the last 2 innings. Up 15-7 versus Hex. Good base running by the Flashline team. If you're Hex, you got the right guys coming up to spark a rally. You still got 6 outs. And here's Matt Dozen, the manager. Win or lose, we would like to get a post game about his tournament this weekend. So keep that in mind, Matt. As Gio will be probably posting details later this evening, as Matty will be running the Guaranteed Rate Classic out in Oak Lawn. I believe he's got 12 teams. Don't quote me on that. Hoping for good weather. That he used to run that tournament out in Tinley Park, but he moved it to Oak Lawn this year. A great way to start the season for all the 16-inch softball fans and players, as it usually tends to get a good crowd. It's a 2-game guarantee, I believe. And Al will hammer one to right, and Ryan Russ will off the wall. And Al, there's going to be a play at second, and Lane and Chooch calls him safe. So not sure if Russ thought that was out or if it was going to hit the wall on a fly, but Al seamed that ball over his hand. That ball was a missile off the bat. And now Holstein will come up here. If Bob Ronald's still watching, I do believe that he made his 45 debut last year at that tournament. Or that was the year before, I can't remember. And Holstein hammers an RBI single down the right field line. And it's a bad throw, but Jerhobel marks it down, and now it's 15-8. And if you're Flashline, you're chasing outs. Still the 6th inning. Just get as many outs as you can. And now Scahill will come up for Hex. 16 teams, so my mistake. Thank you, Paul. If he has 16 teams, that's good. Good to see a lot of the teams wanting to come out and play early in the season. I know the Westchester tournament has 24 teams out in the third week of May. Westchester and the SSA combined for that tournament. And Scale hits a playable ball here for Gutierrez. He makes the play and will throw it into second. If anyone's got a Cubs score for me, I know they were chasing a couple runs of the Dodgers. Aki, your chips are still at the Ardmore Lounge, don't get me wrong. I heard you were with Randy earlier today.
And he ain't got a hit with us. And he's at third. He looks like fucking Billy. He kicks every ball. Yeah, oh my God.
Well, Cubbies won again, 7-6. Wow, the comeback Cubbies. Thank you, Frank. I hear a lot of the guys talking about the Cubs over here. P. Crow Armstrong again. I saw you had a 3-run homer earlier, so. Thank you all for answering. Things are getting excited on the north side as Grisano, I believe, threw a strike, so 2-2. And he hits a line drive. Davis with the catch to throw to first. And Shane knocks it down. So Brian Davis going back in time over there at short. Brian Davis. I've never seen him play short. Usually a third baseman for Vision, Windy City, Signature, and now Moneyline. Could have missed a team here and there. Maybe Rewind as well. I'm not sure if he was on that team. And now a line drive over to third, knocks it down, and he will hold it. So a hard hit ball over there to third base by Lenny. Now here comes Battistoni. Mikey O, the right fielder, hit that ball. And now first and second, Hex down 15-8. If Battistoni could get into one here, it'd be a 3-run homer. They still have 3 homers to use. So let's see if Rich has still got that power to hit it out. Grisano to Battistoni, and he goes hard towards left field line, and it's a foul ball, just missed the line. Signature and the 45s are playing inside the dome. Winners will play. Gio will be live. Still unsure if it will be played out here or not. Gio, you got a score on the...
8-5 us.
You got a Signature 45 score or no?
Last score we heard, it was 8-3 a long time ago in the third.
So if you were a 45 fan out there, the last time we heard was 8-3 45s in the third. So any 45s fans out there, Battistoni hammers one to Davis. So we head to the top of the 7th. Flash line leading.
Hey, not done yet, boys. Not done yet.
As we will be getting a live interview with Matty Dozen at the end of the game to talk about his upcoming tournament. Heard 16 teams, if that's correct. So 16 teams, 2-game guarantee. Gio will be posting the details soon, and it's an exciting tournament to start the season off. So 15-8, flash line heading to the top of the 7th. As Brian Davis will step into the box, the 4-hitter for the Flashline team. So Carbs still pitching for Hex. Came in last inning as Sloan. Flashline started to hit Sloan, but there were some key errors in those last couple innings that sparked some rallies, so Hex booting a couple balls around. It's a full count with Russ on deck. And Davis will a ground ball through the 5-6 hole for a base hit. So Brian Davis with a single. And Mike Manzella, this might be the first time I've seen this, but Mike Manzella is going to courtesy run. And now Ryan Russ will come into the box, who's tried the right field line twice. He's got a lot of room over here, so we'll see if he tries it for a third time. And he misses deep.
Watching YouTube videos how to
And Russ will hit a ground ball to Kimmer, Ham, and safe at first. So Russ tried the third base line. That might be the jinx for Ryan, as he's been telling me how good.
Fuck you.
He's telling me how good he's been doing all year, and 0 for 3 this evening. So Jibs is saying he's got to get Nationals moved to the Dome, because I guess Ryan's been hitting good in the Dome, but not so good outside. And now Grisano, who's got the home run pop, you'll probably hear him growing if he gets it out. As everyone in the softball world knows, when Robbie gets a hold of one, the whole park hears it. And he'll take a walk. So Robbie takes a walk, he'll hobble over to first base. Manzella will run again. And Lenny, who's gotten 2 nice hits his last 2 times up. Unsure who Lenny was with last year. Still trying to learn the whole free agent softball, so not sure. I know Ian, I believe, was with Meatball City, who made the transition to Moneyline. Not sure who Lenny was with. And he hits a hard humpback into right field. That will drop. Flashline will run the bases as Russ will score, and Manzella gets the third. And it's 16-8 Flashline. Lenny, I believe he's got 3 hits this evening, even maybe 4. And they've all been timely hits. Now Nick Jehoba will come back up to the plate. Thank you, Brendan. He was with Players Inc., so him and Frank Chiquel made the move from Inc. And Jehoba hits a ground ball to Scahill, to Nick, to first for the double play. So as we head to the bottom of the 7th, do or die here.
Doesn't matter. Need you make a play.
That's funny, Rudy. That's probably right as well, but we'll see if Flashline can hold on. 16-8. 16-8 Flashline to the bottom of the 7th. So Hexwell, their bottom 4 hitters coming up. They got to get those guys on to have a shot to get to the top. They got, I believe, 3 homers left. I think Al was the only one who hit a homer for Hex. So we'll see if they can get Al back up with runners on. Reminder, Gio will be live for the Dome Championship. Flash line, and it's a line drive. Oh, Davis again. So Davis has had about 5 liners hit to him. And he's made every play, and that's what you get out of Brian Davis, the veteran player. Makes the plays, not playing his usual position, but one of the top players and has been for a long time. And now Sloan will swing here. And he will hit a line drive. Gutierrez knocks it down. It's a base hit. So Sloan flips one in front of Gutierrez with Rory, the second baseman, up. So Sloan's got 2 hits tonight. Again, we keep bringing it up, but he a little unlucky on the pitcher's mound this evening. Flashline just got back-to-back big innings, which jumped on this Hex team. Grisano fakes and delivers to Rory, and Rory hits a fly ball to Raines. Raines made the transition to center when Lane came in. Lane went to second, and PJ went to center. And now Hex down to their final out, and Donnie. And Donnie hits a ground ball, and it's a base hit, and Raines will get the ball in, and Hex has got the top of the lineup down 8. But if you're Hex and you got into the Dome the last month and a half, you finish first, you beat a lot of the top teams. You got to come in to the start of the season with some confidence as you could play with the top teams, and Hex has been a top team for a while now, losing some key players in the offseason, but picking up a lot of the A players from the Sauce team. they're looking to make a run this year. They always play in the tournaments, the top tournaments and the top leagues. So that's what you get out of Hex. And Kurt will with a fly ball. Russ will watch it go out of play. And then he slips.
Yeah, he got over the fence. Okay.
So Ryan jumped over the fence and slipped. And now Hex down to their final strike. Again, thank you all for tuning in here in Rosemont. Not sure if the championship will be played inside or outside, but Gio will be live. William Ross back here on SSA broadcast. And Grisano pitches to Kurt and misses deep, so full count. This has got to feel good for Grisano to pitch against his former team. The runners will move on the release, full count, 2 outs. And Kurt will take ball 4. And now Nick, the short center, is up. And Grisano's, I believe it was 1 and 2 and threw 3 straight balls. So if you're Robbie, you don't want to just be putting guys on here with 2, 3, 4 hitters of Hex. And he hits a fly ball to Gutierrez, and Gutierrez will camp under it and make the catch. And Flashline will be heading to the championship game as they defeat Hex 16-8 here at the Parkway Bank Park in Rosemont, Illinois, in the Final Four of the Dome. A couple big innings in the 5th and 6th. They found themselves down 6-1 early as Hex put up 6 in the bottom of the 1st. But Robbie was able to shut Hex down, and Julian Gutierrez and Brian Davis with some key 2-run homers to spark the Flashline team, and they're able to pull this one out and head to the championship game. We're going to see if we can get an interview here with Matt Dozen. We could hear just a little bit about his tournament. I know Gio will be posting later. So this beautiful stadium here. Matt, I believe you got to put the headset on.
I will.
Just talk a little bit about your tournament. Congrats on the win.
Sure.
Just for all the viewers out there, just fill them in. I know Gio will be posting later, but just how many teams and what's it going to be like?
Sure. We were able to fill out the tournament, 16 teams. It is a single elimination with a consolation bracket, so a 2-game guarantee. Centennial Park in Oak Lawn. We're going to start at 10 o'clock. Championship game right now is penciled in for 4:15. And it should be a little bit chilly, but dry. They are calling for some rain on Friday, so hopefully it'll be early in the day and the fields will be playable. But I'm going to get out there early. I'll let everybody know. It's the 5th time we've done this. We've gotten 2 in, and we've got 2 washed out. Hopefully we get some luck, and it'll be a nice day for softball, Will.
Got it. Thank you, Matt. Good luck in the championship.
Thank you very much.
Gio will be live for the championship. Thank you for tuning in here live. William Russ signing off on SSA Broadcast.